Hello everyone, welcome to the module 10 of n8n Basics 0 to 1 course. This module is gonna be about OpenAI Node and basically what it does, what features does it have, and what elements we can use or utilize OpenAI for in our workflows. So let's directly dive into it. So this OpenAI node is basically it connects to your workflow. Any OpenAI model that you want to connect, it connects to your workflow, and it helps in generating some intelligent text, some messages, whatever you use ChatGPT for particularly. That exact thing your workflow in n8n can also do. So you can use it for writing, summarizing, answer questions, and believe me, it's much more than that. So let's go to the n8n workflow and see what OpenAI node capabilities are. What we'll see is it has these 15 actions. Now, of course, we'll need a trigger in order to attach the OpenAI workflow. So let's start off with the trigger first, and then we'll add on the OpenAI node, and let's start discovering what are the features in OpenAI node. The first thing is its assistant actions. Now this is more like create an assistant, delete an assistant, list assistant, message an assistant, update an assistant. So the people who don't know about assistant, this is basically like a bot or a GPT that has been created in the backend of OpenAI platform, and this assistant has the capability to perform some specific actions that you have trained it for. This can actually be used in the backend of those retail AI, WAPI, or 11 Labs calling agents. And this assistant can be a brain which can have all the knowledge bases and all the information of any business that, of course, the business needs to talk to the client or the customers. So that information can be fed into an assistant. So these actions can be used to create, delete, list, message, update, whatever to the assistant. You're probably not going to use this much often in your workflow, so I'm going to skip this for some later videos. But let's dive into the ones which we are going to use. This is the very first thing, which is going to be message a model. Now this is exactly like your workflow talking to ChatGPT, right? You don't need to be there. So the moment we click message a model, you'd see this kind of node appears. Now let's dive into this, what this is. So the very first thing is we need to connect our credentials. Now you would be having the OpenAI API credits for free already. Let's say you need some more APIs, you want to make some more calls and all. So I'd show you how you can connect this particular API or this credential to your OpenAI. So this is gonna be pretty important. So just do it with me. That's what I'll recommend. So click on this button, the drop down menu, and click on this create new credentials. Here you'll have to fill in these information, which is API keys, organization ID, base URL, right? All this information we need to fill in order to connect our OpenAI account. Now, how will we find the API key for this? So yes, the very first thing that you need to do is go to OpenAI's website. So when you click on OpenAI, you come here, you find platform. Come to OpenAI platform, and here what you will have to search is API keys. That's it. So you click on this API keys, you will be redirected to this particular page. Here you can create your own API key. So let's start creating by one. So I want to do this as n8n test key, and project, we can keep it like a default project that works. All the permissions, that's perfect. Let's create the secret key. And yeah, here you go. Your key is created. Please do not copy my key. I would of course delete this key just right after the video. So yeah, create your own. So you can simply copy this, come back, paste this OpenAI API key here, and click on save. That's it. So your credentials are successfully connected. So now you can start using OpenAI, but there's one more thing that you need to do is, of course, the recharge, because every API key involves using that particular API. So how you do this is you will come back to this OpenAI platform, and you will find this billing option here on the left panel, and you click on that. And here you would see that I already have recharged this, but yeah, here what you'll see is there would be coming an option of add payment method or add payment or add credit, something like that. So you simply click on that, you add your card details, you add your payment method, you go through with it. A minimum of $5 recharge is needed. You just go through with that. And the moment that you are done with this, you can simply go back to your n8n and start using the OpenAI credits. Now the OpenAI account is connected. We'll keep the resource as text because of course we are messaging a model, operation message a model. Let's explore what other options do we have. Assistant, you've already seen this, and all the other resources, I'll just dive into it. But yeah, let's start off with message a model. And here what we'll need to do is we'll need to choose a model. Now, what you need to understand is there are multiple options of different models that OpenAI has launched. You can attach any one of these. My personal favorite is GPT-4o Mini, right? One, because it's cheap. Two, because it has given me probably the best outputs out of all the models that I've ever tested, ever connected so far. Okay, and basically it's more on the money to value kind of thing, and we are comparing the cost efficiency, that yeah, if we are paying this much, how much we are getting. And the costing of this, you can probably find it here itself. You'll come back here, you'll probably scroll down. Yeah, you'll find it here in the pricing, view pricing and FAQ. You click this, and here you would simply scroll down, and what you'll find is GPT-5 has these flagship models have been launched. GPT-5 have been launched. So their pricing is put here, which is 1 million tokens can be used for $1.25. And yeah, GPT 4.1 mini, we can use it for 0.8 for 1 million tokens. And yeah, here you go. All the image generation, response APIs, real-time APIs, all these costings of all these tokens are right here. So you take your time, you explore these. But yeah, for me, GPT-4o mini has been doing great, so I'd keep it here. Now let's go and hop on to the next element, which is messages. Now messages is how you talk to OpenAI. Okay, that's it. So prompt is where you will of course tell the OpenAI to do something, and this is gonna be like, there are three roles, which is user, assistant and system. What you need to majorly take care of is user and system. No need not to look into assistant particularly. So user is basically what you are sending a message to ChatGPT. And system is how you want the model to behave, or what particular attributes you want the model to have. Let's say you want to have an expert copywriter for writing all your Instagram content. That particular thing can be done by the system prompt. The moment that I click it, you will see that this prompt turned into a system prompt, and I can of course have a user prompt alongside that. So what I'll put in here is, this prompt would be dedicated to training the model of how it should behave, what kind of examples we'll provide it so that it can create a certain kind of output. User prompt is majorly gonna be what message you are gonna give to OpenAI in that particular instance. Okay, so for example, any dynamic content that you want to bring. So if you remember the dynamic schema values that you're dragging and dropping, that I would recommend you do it in a user prompt, and whatever model behavior training that you want to give, you give it to the system prompt. Now we'll simply scroll down, simplify output. We can keep it tagged. Options, there are multiple options. You can simply explore all of these. Not much important. You can definitely limit some frequency penalties are there, maximum number of tokens that you want to use because of the API limits and monetary aspects as well. Right. So yeah, you can simply explore this, but not much relevant to be honest. I've never used it personally in any generic use case. And yeah, here we can simply see settings. We can see that we have always output data, execute once, retry on fail, on error. What we can do is we can create another workflow, stop the workflow, continue it. Right. You can explore these options in the n8n node itself. But what I majorly wanted to explain was this particular system prompt and user prompt, because this is going to be very crucial and can change or alter the entire functioning of your messenger model or OpenAI chat node. So yeah, you'd see that there's one more option here which is called as tools. Now this is exactly the same as AI agents. Now you provide tools to the AI agent to perform certain actions. And if you want just this messenger model to perform those certain actions, you can provide those tools to them. So for example, you have provided a Google account or a Gmail account and you want to send a mail. If you remember that in the very first video or in the starting only, I've done this, that the AI agent sent a mail to me. So that particular thing, this messenger model can also do, can also function like that. So now let's explore what other actions does this OpenAI node has. Then of course, classify text for violations. You can explore this option once again, very similar to just the text alterations that we are doing. Image actions. Oh, this is one of the most amazing things. And this particular node I've used in creating a WhatsApp chatbot, which basically takes in any image provided by the customer. It analyzes that image and then recommends product based on that image. So let's say somebody has a red dress and they want a jewelry matching to that. They can use this particular image. Yeah. So analyzing images there. Click on that, explore it, what options are there. Generate an image is here. So of course, that is the same thing as what Sora does and what ChatGPT does. If you provide it a prompt, it will generate an image. So if you want to generate an audio response for those chatbots, this particular node can be used. It's quite well, very great functioning. It even generated like a 13-minute audio within seconds and responded back to the query of customers in the chatbot that I created. Right. Then transcribe a recording. You'll use this a lot of times whenever you are receiving those Telegram messages. you would have probably seen those n8n workflow creators who speak in the Telegram and then entire workflow starts running and everything. So that particular things happens using this particular transcribe recording action in the OpenAI node. They send a recording, they attach it to this transcriber recording. This transcribes that into a text, and then the entire workflow works normally as a text only. The workflow is not taking your voice and working on it. Okay, so translate a recording. That again, that's the same thing. If you want to translate your recording into some other language, you can use this. Then file actions, you delete a file, list a file, upload a file. Yeah, you can totally explore all of these. Now files are of course those binary files, image files, video files, all of those, and documents that you want to attach or want to give to n8n or to any of your workflow. That's all possible from here. So yeah, now let's go back to our PPT and we see what options, what examples do we have. So some of the examples where you can use the OpenAI node, I've already told you a couple, like those chat bots and the Telegram audio thing. But yeah, let's explore these as well. So generate product descriptions, pull product details from a database and automatically generate compelling descriptions at scale. This can be used in e-commerce, Shopify websites, WordPress websites and all, WooCommerce and all. This can be used. Then summarize meeting notes, convert lengthy transcript into concise, actionable summaries with key points highlighted. This sounds like a great example and a great use case. So there are internal team meetings which are happening, and there's one person whose job role is simply to write the minutes of the meeting and send it to everyone. That can be done using OpenAI, and you can kind of create this workflow and sell it to business owners and founders as well. That whatever your meetings are going to be, you can transcribe that entire recording using the OpenAI node, then summarize that entire recording using the same node, then send that to Gmail to everyone who was in the meeting. So yeah, that's summarizing meeting notes for you. Then auto reply to support queries, of course, analyze customer questions and it helpful and contextual appropriate response. So that's basically you attaching a chatbot onto your website or on Telegram or on WhatsApp and using OpenAI node in the backend as your brain. So yeah. So why it's powerful? It adds intelligence to the automations, but obvious it transforms simple workflows into smart systems that can understand, analyze, and generate human-like content. It's context-aware results. Now, what is context-aware? Basically, if it's very simple thing, it's more like a simple memory thing. So if you would have had a session ID or any conversation that you have had with this particular chatbot or any customer is having with this chatbot, the OpenAI would always remember that, okay, this is the person and this is what it was referring to. If you remember, I tried this exact thing in the one of the starting videos when I attached a simple memory to the AI agent, right? So that's context aware results and works seamlessly with other nodes. You can chain OpenAI with HTTP request node, database operations, and conditional logic for complex AI workflows. So yeah, this was it about module 10 OpenAI node. We'd start using these now in our n8n workflows, and whenever we'll create some in-depth advanced level templates, you'll comfortably know that, okay, this is how that functions and this was the work of that OpenAI node. Yeah, perfect. Glad that you completed this. See you in the next video. Ciao.